this thing. So let's do it. Yeah. I ain't never worried about pain. I ain't never worried about pressure. I ain't never worried about hate. I know you don't know no better. I ain't never worried about never. 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 Let's go. Complicated. Why they gotta make it so complicated? I was down low, but now I'm upgraded. You can get through anything, long as magic made it. And I ain't never worried about never. I ain't never worried about things you don't heard about me. Probably ain't as real as it seems, like a deal that you got from the screen. No, it's hard to believe, but everything starts with a dream. Every car needed cars in between. Every girl needed brought in her teens. Every boy acting hard, know we lost, took God in the veins. Baby, I'm a god and a king. Tell me what is larger than we. Tell me what is harder to beat. And the boy going hard on the beat, beating all the odds, calling for heat. So how they gonna tell me no? No leak, but I still got hoes. No teeth, but I still got goals from the concrete. Watch me grow this rose. This is everything I'm owed. Spend it all on that road. The truth is everything I told. I just spit it just to let you know. I ain't never worried about pain. I ain't never worried about pressure. I ain't never worried about hate. I know you don't know no better. I ain't never worried about never. 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 Let's go.
I ain't never worried about suffering. I ain't never worried about starving. I ain't never worried about falling. I'ma live my life regardless. I know
what's up, y'all? Welcome to the live. Just being Mimi, what up? Welcome to the live. I'm literally still making breakfast for myself.
No, I ain't never worried about giving up. And I ain't worried about beat cause I don't give
what's up?
I dare you to come with that showdown. I'ma throw that bit back Nelly vocal. I'ma go Mayweather on out. Losing is not in my vocab. No, losing is not in my protege. If you wanna win, well, I know the way. Don't worry about them, they'll know the way. Can't be under the people that overrate. So I live my life without doubts. Can't disbelieve what I am about. I never fall in the drought. I'm constantly making it out, yeah. I ain't never worried about beats. I ain't never worried about cheddar. I ain't never worried about falling. I ain't never worried about never. No, I ain't never worried about never. I ain't never worried about never. I ain't never worried about never. I ain't never worried about never.
I ain't never worried about pain. I ain't never worried about pressure. I ain't never worried about hate. I know you don't know no better. I ain't never worried about never. 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 Let's go.
Let go.
Should I have done this already? Absolutely. Miss Minnie Sweets on IG. Good morning. Should I have done this? Absolutely. Did I do it? I did not. And so I'm making a protein shake over there. I'm about to be up and at it in a second. But in the in between time, I'm gonna play some of my music. I'm gonna play. I play Need Love, and then I play You. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the live. What y'all up to? 1 second while I get done with this protein shake.
What you're about to hear is not the album. So let me tell you that.
Now what you think I is, get drugs to the club and take a hit. Pause, I'm gonna make it hit. Get love at the love when they play this shit. Mars, how do you stay consistent when day after day all the goals persist? You can't find you a chick that's bad as bitch, cause my baby's a stallion pieces. Need a medallion necklace. How do you challenge an exodus? Life is extravagant, excellent. Really so talented, excellent. But you mad at this, young it. But it really don't matter, brother. On the day when you sat out, take a look at my album before. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Look at my team, look at these dreams. We can't believe we gon' be kings, they gon' be queens. Up on the scene, making them scream. 2 million streams, Cartier queen. Party and pride on top of the dream. Party like popular, part of the team. Or party on college, you think it's a dream. Time to get lost in the love of the beat. Take to the beach in Miami, they heat. Put some respect when you talk about me. I'm the king of the jungle, they all come to see. When I see come on land and nobody could breathe. I'ma bring back the junkies who walk in the streets. And my dream like Moses, set on my feet when they praying to God. It's a picture of me. Make it right. Make it right. All day and all night. Oh, we gon' make it right. Oh, make it right. Oh, we gon' make it right. All day and all night. Oh, we gon' make it right. And this is how you make good music. Good call. This is good music. And this is how you make good music. Good call. This is good music. And this is how you make good. Born with a pocket picture, every song that I'm on to the conversation. If I fuck your girl, she'll stop me tripping. Cause they eat that pussy like the opposition. You a star now, you can't stop the kicking. You can't stop me tripping. You can't stop me bitching. Please don't act like these rap niggas acting different. I'm running like this, talking like this, 100%. We'll get lit, press my blood, then I'm a grip. I'm just fuck, set it like this, pretty young bitch. All of my dick, one of these bricks, all of my bricks. Look at my drip, making them sick. Not making money, don't need to make sense. Well, ultimately, I'm nothing like you niggas. If you need me, you know you can find me right next to my microphone. Right on top where I belong. See, I got all these jewels on me, though I don't got no diamonds on it. I don't got no time to give a fuck about who don't like me. I'm $1 million nigga, chasing millions with my Nike on. Right. Oh, we gon' make it right. Oh, man.
Not the album. King Hoodie told me to tell you.
I'ma need you to love me. I'ma need you to put up all your hands. Dance when I tell you dance and put nobody above me. Love me. When you out, tell them play me, I'm that jam. Tell the world that you a fan. Scream as loud as you can. Love me. Under these flashing lights, I be the one that rapping. Nighttime, my bitch are acting right. I be that human sacrifice for you. And you. And you.
And when it's all over, we can say we came
through this shit together. I just wanna do as dope as I can.
What's up, y'all? Welcome. Welcome to the live.
Floor seats, we couldn't 4Ds, and plus I never had no clothes to say the clothes wore me. That was me. I pulled myself out of the trash back when I should have till before class and told them all one day I get to this cash. I need love.
Y'all know about this? What you know about this?
I'ma need love.
Do you know this song? Do you know this? Grand Rising. We having breakfast? A peanut butter and banana sandwich and a protein shake?
I'ma need love. Send me your love.
Say,
I'ma need love. I'ma need love. Yeah. I'ma need love.
I'm telling you.
I'ma need love.
Missy, what up? Zoe. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the live. I am an imperfect human being. I'm not perfect at all. I should have eaten breakfast before this, but I'm like, I got two options. I could be late on the live. I could be late on the live and eat my breakfast first. Or I could be on time with the live and do my breakfast at the same time. So I was like, you know what? We don't do that late shit no more. So we're here imperfectly. We're imperfectly here, but we're in person, so let's count for something. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the live.
I'ma need love. I'ma need love.
I'm telling y'all, man. That's my song, Need Love. You can go stream it right now. King Hoodie, Need Love on all streaming sites. That song was written and recorded and mixed and mastered by me. It was produced by Neri. And I'm singing on the hook. So I wrote the raps, I'm rapping on it, and that's my first and only song that I'm singing on the hook, so shout out to me. Yeah! Bree Marie, what's up? Goodfellas or Casino? I gotta know. Goodfellas or Casino? I like Casino better than Goodfellas. Personally, me. Grand Rise, we having breakfast, chasing smiles. A peanut butter sandwich and a protein shake. Hello everyone, I'm new here. What's up, Missy? Welcome. Nice teeth. Thank you, Zoe Winter Blue. Appreciate it. They're the only ones I got. Missy, is this your music? Yeah, this is my music. What kind of bread is that? Potato bread? Nah, it's like multi-grain bread, I guess. But it's kind of big for multi-grain bread. I don't know. Nature's own multi-grain bread. This song is a fan favorite though. I'll be honest. You? People love this song.
You know that you like me, and you know I like you too. All I say is you.
What's up, Hannah?
You know that I like you, and I know that you like me too. I ain't meet you at no party. I met you at my homie's crib. And that's a free shot to Bacardi. They let me know you was my homie's chick. And it ain't like you was the only chick. But I could tell you ain't no phony chick. Something about you had you stuck with me. Imagine that you fuck with me. Imagination leads manifestation, ain't it? Luckily, cause I ain't see you again for like a couple of months. And I pull up at the wood, I see you right out the front. And then I walk with my niggas. I'm like, hey man, what's up? And you like, ain't you friends with such and such? Yes I am, but what's up with you? You.
Come on now.
You know that you like me, and you know I like you too. All I say is you. You know that I like you, and I know that you like me too. Now we see more frequent. Eye to eye without no creeping, side to side without no speaking. I can sit with you just to give you these moments. I know you in Miami all alone. You work to own it. You dancing, you making drinks. 9 to 5 and 8 to 6. Tired eyes.
Keep it up. Don't ever sell your soul in the music industry. I never will, Zoe. Blame Marie. Hey, what's up, Bia Marie?
Sitting in the corner.
What's up, Hannah?
Busy talking shit.
Hey.
Don't know what to say because I'm focused on your lips. Oh God, I wanna feel
okay.
You told me no because you weren't
Hannah, what's the question?
What to do. Before I knew it, I was in it, kissing you.
What's the question, Hannah?
Eye to eye without no creeping, side to side without no speaking. I can sit with you just to give you these moments. I know you in Miami all alone. You work to own it. You dancing, you making drinks. 9 to 5 and 8 to 6. Those tired eyes, they don't forget the shit you go through. You hold my hand. Without let go can't be a man. Amongst these other things that I can't show you. Sitting in the corner, busy talking shit. Don't know what to say because I'm focused on your lips. Oh God, I wanna feel them. Told me no because you work here. Don't know what to do. Before I knew it, I was in it, kissing you. You.
like me, and you know I like you too. All I say is you. You know that I like you, and I know that you like me.
Green Goddess on IG, what up?
Brain matter, blood splatter, my vision shatter. Cause after kissing you close, how do we close the chapter? Thinking of you is like a fire in my chest. And I know this ain't right, but you know what I like at night with you. Brain matter, blood splatter, my vision shatter. And after kissing you close, how do we close the chapter? Thinking of you is like a fire in my chest. And I know this ain't right, but you know what I like at night with you.
I just don't want you to think that I'm like irresponsible or like write me off as being desperate or thirsty or just slacking. I'm tired.
Hannah.
Tommy, is this the King Hoodie out?
Yes, it's the King Hoodie.
Hannah, that is a great question. Let me see. That's you, Bia Marie. Yeah, that's me. That's my song, Bia Marie. Go and listen to that. That's a song I call You. It's just the letter U. King Hoodie, You. Go listen to it. It's amazing. I'm amazing. Well, you say you follow the Dr. Sebi diet plan, right? Well, is peanut butter on the list? Hannah, to be honest with you, peanut butter is absolutely not on the list. As a matter of fact, I have the nutritional guide right here. I'll show it to y'all. This is something that one of the Dr. Sebi, like, if you call their office, they'll just hook you up with stuff. So this is a nutritional guide that Dr. Sebi's office uses. Peanuts are not even on the list, so I don't think they're good. I don't follow everything or anything to the T like that, like to where I'm not going to enjoy some of the stuff I want. But Dr. Sebi Cell Food Nutritional Guide. This is probably available on their website or something like that. But it gives you a list of everything that they say to eat. Vegetables, amaranth, avocado, bell peppers. These things are good. Everything on this list is good to eat. So avocados, so from vegetables, fruits, natural herb teas, grains, like regular rice is not even on it. Quinoa is though. Or wild rice is on it. Nuts. Hemp seeds, raw sesame seeds, walnuts, and Brazil nuts. Those are the only ones that they advocate. So no, peanuts and peanut butter is not on it. But I am not a diva, and I like peanut butter. So I'll be going for it. I don't follow the list exactly because I still eat fish. But I do my best. I do my best to lean into the things that are on this list. So I feel good when I buy the things that are on this list, like, you know, oregano, just like some of these things. Sea salt, yeah. So yeah, I follow the list, but I just don't follow it like to the ridiculous T. But I still follow it. I do my best to like stay by it, but I'm not gonna. Are you ready for Friday, sir? Absolutely, Green Goddess. We about to turn it up on Friday, April 12th, this Friday. Catch me performing live in Miami at Salamander. Pull up. It's gonna be an extraordinary show. Stay by it, and y'all gotta come and rock with me. So yeah, Hannah, no, I don't follow it to the T, but I do my best to like lean. I do my best to like in my diet lean closer to it, because honestly speaking, that Dr. Sebi diet is not a protein rich diet. It's not a diet for like bodybuilders at all. You know, he doesn't really recommend protein things at all. So in order for me to maintain the kind of body that I want, I have to supplement it. So yeah. Love the confidence. Will do. Thank you, Bia Marie. Pull up. Hey, Hoodie, what's up, Yogi? Welcome. I hope you added CMOS in that mix. I did not, yo. If y'all got good benefits to tell me about CMOS, tell me. I know it got like 92 of the 100 and something, you know what I'm saying, vital, essential elements, nutrients for the body. I've had CMOS in like 2 different seasons of my life, and I didn't know if it did anything for me. I'd be like, it don't really got no taste to it. I don't really know what it got going on, but maybe I just need to get more CMOS and better CMOS. Walnuts are delicious. They are delicious. What up, Dre? Welcome to the live. Walnuts are delicious. It's super hard. I tried it. Messed up my thyroid. Damn, that's crazy. Okay. Yogi, what kind of list is this? Sorry, I'm just coming in. That was a Dr. Sebi nutritional list. So if anybody knows Dr. Sebi, famous black man who was curing AIDS and lupus and cancer and blindness and baldness and scoliosis. He was curing all sorts of things with his philosophy of health. His philosophy was that there is not multiple diseases. There is only one disease. Dr. Sebi said there is only one disease known to man, and that disease is the compromising of the mucous membrane in the body. Whenever the mucous membrane in the body gets compromised, it will result in like an adverse effect in the body, which we in turn call and deem and label a disease, when it's really just the mucus acting up based on a specific thing that's happening in the body. He said if you find the mucus in any, if you want to cure any disease, locate where the mucus is, treat that, and you'll treat the disease. That was his philosophy. He also believed that most diseases, in which, you know, is kind of widely accepted in medicine, most diseases are anaerobic, meaning that a disease or an infection cannot live in an oxygen-rich environment. So if you flood the body with oxygen, then it should automatically begin to heal itself. It's like doing a deep cleaning of your house. If you got roaches in the kitchen and you do a super deep clean or like a bombing of the house, like it can't live here anymore because it just can't. Like the environment does not foster that kind of activity. So the way that he practiced like oxygenating the body was by enriching the body with alkaline foods. When you have an alkaline diet and when you like ingest things that have a high pH balance, it brings the pH balance in your body up, which in turn is like the equivalent of oxygenating the body, and it should cure and cleanse and clean everything. And his method was like a really organic method. He didn't believe in like a chemical approach or an acid approach. He believed in like a natural approach, you know. So he just did everything he did with roots and nature and thermal tanks in his Usha research village in Honduras. Yeah, he was definitely a cool guy. Like I just was really fascinated, especially like around COVID time when everybody was just up and dying. I was definitely researching Dr. Sebi heavily because I'm like, okay, science and medicine is clearly failing us. Why don't we go back to some of the natural holistic remedies? And that's what really led me to tap in with him. I would highly suggest if you're on YouTube and you want to know anything you want to know about Dr. Sebi, he got an interview with a man named Rock Newman. So if you go on YouTube, and you might have to search for it, but you can find this Rock Newman Dr. Sebi interview. Dr. Sebi is just I think that's one of the last interviews he did, but he's just telling the whole game. He's telling everything about his life. He's on this platform for like an hour telling everything about his life, like how he rejuvenated his own vision. He did some crazy shit. His vision wasn't great, and so he did this thing where he took his own compounds until his urine, he fasted and took his own compounds until his urine was like clear, like as clear as water. And then he began drinking his own urine for like a month. And he said, he started drinking his own urine. He said, I want to say like a few days in, he went blind. He went completely blind. And he was sitting there all blind and stuff. I think he was blind for like 3 days. He couldn't see anything. And he put these things over his eyes, like these little bandages or whatever. And on the third day, after the third day, he took the things off his eyelids, and he said his vision, he said, I could see the finest letter that was printed on the shop across the street. Like I could see everything. I could see everything clearly. He said, but why did I go blind for 3 days? He said, I went blind for 3 days because as I took the compounds and as I began to drink my own urine, the mucus was getting broken down in my head and it had to pass through my eyes, which obstructed my vision for those 3 days. And then it finally came out. And that was his story, bro. Again, you could go watch it yourself. This is him saying what he did and how he cured all these people on this Rock Newman show. So, yeah, it's crazy. Got it. That diet is difficult to follow. I want to try it out. Yeah, his goal is to reduce inflammation and muscle build in the body. Right. Let me see. Boom. Mucus builder. Right. Let me see. Yogi, I mean, you're practically eating what the animal eats, and that's not always healthy. Right. Are you mixed with some kind of Asian? Zoe, no, I'm not mixed with any Asian. I'm Haitian and Puerto Rican. So I'm of island descent. However, my grandmother was Native American on my Puerto Rican side. And to be honest, I don't really know though, bro. I used to say, I don't know. Like I used to say, nah, of course not. But the Haitian side of my family believes that there might be some Asian on my Haitian side, but we just don't know. We ain't got no proof. I had CMOS. It cured this pain on the dorsal side of my foot to this day. Oh, that's what's up. Yes, facts. Inflammation causes so much. Honestly speaking, When I got sick, 2022 November, I ate some bad food and I had E. coli, and I ended up in the hospital. And the guy was like, "Yo, what do you eat? Do you eat meat?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't really eat meat." He was like, "Well, I'll tell you this, like, you're already just by not eating meat, you're already better than half of the people that are in the hospital right now." He said because the majority of the ailments and maladies that they're dealing with is caused by inflammation, and the inflammation comes from the meat. They just can't put it down. Like, I know some people, bro. I know some people that reading that Jim Quick book you talked about yesterday on live. Hey, that's what's up, Dre. Read it. Limitless is fire. Jade, have you been partaking in the Sebi practice? Jade, I have not been partaking in the Sebi practice. What is the Sebi practice? I gotta remember I'm gonna play this back. I gotta remember to keep looking at the Instagram comments. But yeah, the doctor told me, yo, you're already better than half the people that are up in here because they got inflammation in their body and that's what's messing them up. I know some people, bro, that cannot enjoy a meal if there's no meat in it. They're like, is there meat in it? Man, my homegirl, she came to the crib the other day. I said I was going to cook for her. She's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm on a carnivore diet. I'm like, that should sound dumb. So what I ended up doing was I just cooked her some vegan food. She came over here. She's like, is there no meat in this at all? I was like, no, there's no meat in it at all. But it's still good. I think mentally she couldn't allow herself to enjoy it because she had already established if there's no meat in this, it's not a real meal. So it can't be good. And I think it was a mental thing because anybody else who didn't have those reservations that came and ate the food that I made would have loved it because I made the exact same thing like a week prior for a room full of people and they all thought they took that shit and they took it all home and I didn't see it again. They ate it all. And so I bet. So I think there are some people who cannot process that you can even have a meal if there's no meat involved. So some people are going to have, bro, like whenever people sit around and talk about the cancers and the diabetes and how it runs in my family and oh my God, it's my ailment. It's like, bro, that thing may not run in your family. Your badass eating habit definitely runs in your family. That's what the problem is. And you earning it. You're earning the bad shit that you're getting. And you don't get it because you just don't get it. But you're earning it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're getting it. You feel me? You're earning the baddies. You're earning it. What's up, E.T.?
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Yo, my chat wanted to meet you, so I was like, why not? Guys, this is King Hoodie. Please follow him. He's incredible. He's probably getting it in right now. He's always dropping gems. He shares so many good things about positive life, affirmations, credit, moving on relationships. He has incredible music. He makes great music. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's good vibes. Okay, he fine. Damn. Yo, the UK is in the building saying the king is looking good, looking fresh. Yo.
Hey. Hey.
Yeah, follow him. Yo, Eddie, follow him. Yo, I sent him a follow. Haha, love his energy. Thank you, Sarah. Yo, Sarah is in Canada and she runs the mental health space.
Really?
And she holds space for people and that type of thing. So yeah, my chat wanted to meet you, so I was like, yeah, he's on. Let's see if he's down with the get down.
I'm down. I'm here. What's up, E.T.? Welcome.
What's up? Normally I'd be down in the chat.
No, what's up? I feel like we're gonna go crazy with these sound effects.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, you turned me on to that,
Yo, bro, look.
It's like got me stuck on these effects.
It's like power. It's like power. It's like once you got the power, you don't want to let it go. It's like, hell yeah, I control this world. You start letting the sound off.
Yo, I be doing the most though. I be doing the most with them. Yo, what's up? What y'all talking about? What's the subject today?
We're literally right now talking about Dr. Sebi and how people who like eat meat or people eat certain things or put certain things in their body, you're choosing that for yourself. Like you can't cry when you end up sick off the shit you've been putting in your body for 20 years.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
One of my homies on Instagram says, I need my diabetes gone. I'm sick of it. Bruh, eating habits, man. Let's attack these eating habits. You can cure it. Like, I've known people that have had diabetes and then I think they didn't have diabetes anymore, right? That's common, right?
Yeah, it is. But you know what I noticed too is that there's a big correlation between your self-esteem and how you treat yourself, So a lot of people, they have garnered bad habits from their family, or they have been severely abused and they have CPTSD and they have a hard time functioning in life. So for them to really organize themselves in a way where they feel like they can achieve that or they are able to change their habits consistently, Sometimes they lack the self-discipline because really what they're lacking is self-confidence.
Wow.
And I find that if they can read and really get themselves to a place where they feel confident enough to say, I can make this change, they'll do it. You know?
That's real. Wait, what is CPTSD?
The C for that is complex. So complex PTSD is about experiencing trauma over time. So like, let's say for example, you had a traumatic upbringing. So the first 12 of your years of your life, you were just consistently traumatized. It can really do a lot of damage to your nervous system, and it's a much more complicated process than PTSD, like you going to war and then having an experience and then coming back messed up. It's like you were messed up like for a long time. So it's physically damaging and it's repetitive trauma. So it is complicated to heal. Yes, Sarah. Sarah said yes, repetitive trauma and physical damage. Yeah. So people that grow up like that have a harder time healing and it's different than PTSD.
That's deep.
Love the topic though.
So it's just a deeper version, right? It's just a deeper version of PTSD.
And oftentimes it stems from childhood as well. So, when it's layered, and sometimes you have to give people a little bit of grace when they're going through that because they don't function properly, but it's not their fault,
Yeah, my homie on Instagram says
but it is
I'm
your
definitely
responsibility in your adulthood to heal and take the steps to heal if that's the life you want. So it might not be your fault, but it becomes your responsibility.
Damn, it might not be your fault, but it's definitely your responsibility. Wow, that's a bar. That's fire. I never heard nobody say that before, but that's awesome. It may not be your fault, but it's definitely your responsibility.
Yeah, it's not your fault that that you were treated less than when you were younger, or maybe you had an abusive parent, or so on and so forth. But at what point are you, when you're an adult, are you going to take responsibility for the things that your own pain and what happened to you, and let some of those things go so that you can thrive, and it becomes your responsibility. I learned early on that sometimes you have to reparent yourself. And the things that you didn't hear from your parents, you can tell yourself. I didn't know that until I was in my 30s that some of these things that I needed to hear growing up, I can tell them to myself. I can get up in the morning and do my affirmations and tell myself I am worthy of love, that I am doing the best that I can, that I am enough, even without all of this other stuff, that I believe in you. All of these things I could tell them to myself. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that you love the topic. Yeah, it's true, so I think when you have complex PTSD or you have childhood trauma or stuff like that, it is important to be patient with yourself, and you in turn become the parent that you wanted when you were younger to yourself in your adulthood, if that makes sense. And you can heal those places in yourself, but it does take time and patience,
Yo, that's real. You become the parent that you wanted. Wow.
Yeah, for yourself, because the thing is that if you don't, you run the risk of becoming the parent that you had to the children that you later have if you don't heal that space in your life. Like you think it's all good and then you're like, I'm never going to be like that. And one day you look up and you yelling at your kids and telling them to go get a switch.
Yo,
crazy.
So how do you change that, man? Like sometimes I'll go through my day and I'll see myself doing some of the same mannerisms that I saw my father doing as a kid. And I don't really want to, as much as I love and respect my father, I don't really want to be like him at all. So how do you change that? Like, how do you get out of that like, it seems like an automatic track that you may end up on inadvertently just by not paying attention. So how do you like fix that? How do you cure that?
Well, I think for me, I can tell you because I grew up very, like my parents were very aggressive, both of them. And it was like walking around on eggshells, right? And they were very authoritative. It was very, you do what I say, what up, BG? Welcome to the live. It was very much so like, you do what I say, and that's it. You don't ask questions. You stay in a child's place. You don't have an opinion. Like, it was very much that. And then it was like, I felt like I was walking in a minefield. You know what I mean? Like, any wrong turn, and I'm gonna lose a limb. Like, and that's how I grew up. So, for me, later on in life, I was like, yeah, that was kind of rough. I mean, I don't Yeah, do what I say, not as I do. Yes, I grew up like that. Now the problem with that is, it's like, okay, when you grow up, you're like, okay, I don't want to feel how I felt growing up, or I don't want to make people feel like that. But when you get around children or people that you're in authority of, you're like, oh, it's almost like automatic that your body wants to be like, sit down, go sit down, wow, you know what I mean? And you start talking to other people like that. And it started with me with accountability, like with somebody telling me, hey, like, I think the way that you talk to those kids was not right. And I was like, what? And it was not even something that was on my radar. Like, I was literally confused. I was like, what? Because in my family, that's how we talk to kids. You know what I'm saying? And so somebody had to like really like be like, yo, we need to be accountable for this type of thing. So it started for that. And then it was really about self-awareness too. I think that like when I started reading and really getting to know myself, I'm like, oh, you know, these are things that I had to learn over time. You know, so by the time I started like fostering a kid, I started fostering a kid for 2 weeks, and I was like, oh, if you want to know who you are or who you would be as a parent, like babysit a kid for an extended period of time. Like I babysitted my niece for 2 weeks. I fostered a kid for 2 weeks, and they will show you who they are. They will show you who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like you keep your niece for a couple of days, and you'll be like, oh man, I got to work on this and this and this. Because there's a lot of things that you can work on, like as an individual, and you think, wow, I have arrived. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing everything good, and then when you add an extra element, that extra element will show you like where like the real. You know what I'm saying? You are in your growth, and some spaces you can only grow in relationship. You know, be it nieces, nephews. But I think for me, the biggest thing that I did to heal that was remind myself that the times that we talk about over and over again in our adulthood, like we're constantly talking about our childhood, how we grew up, just remembering that those children that we're around are in those moments that they're going to talk about later, you know, and what do I want them to say, you know, and I think about that at the forefront of my mind when I'm with my nieces, my nephews, with children, is like, I want these are going to be their core memories. These are going to be the things that they refer to when they're in their adulthood, saying, you know, man, I had this kind of family and this is where it got me. Do I want them to say like, yo, my family had my back and I'm successful because of that? Or do I want them to say, these people traumatized me and now I have to figure it out? You know what I'm saying? And I think that being aware of that helps me stay in the orbit. Oh girl, we got to do similar stories. And okay, yeah, we will. Oh my God, that's so crazy. That's amazing, Sarah.
Adriana B said, just got in here. Y'all, what's going on? Y'all got a bunch of comments on this side. Habitual changes, intentionality. Yogi says, we will always be a part of our parents, but we have to learn to be the best parts. It's part subconsciousness. Man, that's crazy, bro. I think I'm gonna really like hold that one close to the chest today, because I've never heard anybody say what you said earlier today, that it may not be your fault, but it's definitely your responsibility. Because I'm like, who can even say that to somebody? I feel like that's something you can really only say to yourself, you know? Because who can say that to you? Yeah, hey, it might not be your fault, but it's your responsibility. It's like, yeah, okay, wait a minute. But it's actually the responsibility of the person who initiated this, so let's find them, beat them up, and let's beat the results out of them. It's like, but that's not the world that you live in. The reality is you're the one that's stuck with that trauma. You're the one that's stuck with those bad habits. You're the one that's stuck with that bad attitude, that bad view of the world. So you're the one that got to fix that. We're not talking about fixing somebody else. We're talking about fixing you. So you might not be the one who initiated this BS in your psyche, but you're the one who's stuck with it. So it's your responsibility. You got to heal that. You got to unpack it yourself, fix it yourself, come to conclusions about it by yourself or with a professional, and get your mind right. You feel me? Because your mind is going to dictate the rest of your life forever.
Absolutely. And a lot of the time too, it's those people are far gone, you know. Sometimes those people are passed on. There's nobody, you know, you can't go to them and say, you did this to me, so on and so forth, you know. Sometimes those people are passed on. Sometimes those people don't care. Sometimes those people you have to set good boundaries with, and now you have to be far away from them. So it's really not so much about them. It's really about you and the type of life that you want to live, you know. And so, yeah, it does become your responsibility, because at what point are you going to realize, you know, sometimes they're not going to do anything about it. That's the reality of the situation. Yo, Jasmine Majors in the building.
Jasmine. Chasing Smiles. Thank you for the gift, Chasing Smiles. Appreciate you.
Hi, Miles. What up, Bree? Welcome in. Hi guys. Yeah. So we're just talking about it. Jasmine, we're talking about CPTSD and
CPTSD.
Yeah, and Jasmine works. She teaches kids. She was teaching middle school at one point, so she was talking about that and how that really helped her with her page. She said, "My favorite topic." Yeah, my favorite topic is
CPTSD. Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, so we were talking basically about how that even though your brokenness might not be your fault, your healing is your responsibility.
That's solid, man. That's a real message. That's a real key right there. And a lot of people, that might go over people's head. And a lot of people, it might not even go over their head. It just might irritate them. Like, no, it's not my fault. I'm going to resist that. It's like, you can resist it all day, but it's still there. Winston Churchill said, the truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is. It's like, bro, there it is. Like, you can run all day from this shit that you don't want to face, but there it is. It's gonna follow you. Like, I think Kanye said it too. He was like, even if you in the Benz, you still a nigga in the coupe. You know, and Jay-Z said, like, yo, wherever you go, there you are. Like, you can't say I'm gonna elevate past my problems and I'm gonna elevate past my issues. It's like, nah, there's no way to elevate past your issues if you're not elevating mentally. You can elevate your bank account past your issues, dog, but them same traumas are going to follow you into the mansion. It's going to follow you across the world. It's going to follow you when you're in Egypt, when you're in Paris, when you're on a boat, when you're on a plane, when you're on a train, when you're in a Mercedes. Your issues are still your issues. You didn't run away from them, bro. You just like focus on other things. I'm going to go get these outside materialistic things so that it'll heal my traumas as a kid. It's like, yeah, you're going to be a rich, traumatic person like a lot of other people. It doesn't work like that, you know? Like, you can only elevate past your issues if you elevate inside. You got to elevate your mind. You got to elevate your energy. And you can only do that by, like, patching that stuff up, patching those holes up. Appreciate you, Jasmine. Thank you for the love. Yeah, you can only do that by patching up the holes.
It's very true. It's very true. Somebody, yesterday, they were talking and they said something along the lines of, they were talking about that scripture that said, your gift will make room for you.
I love that.
And I was telling them, I like that scripture a lot because it says your gift will make room for you and put you before great men, right? But the thing that I learned was a lot of the time when you do elevate and you have success, right? What the world calls success, like you either made a certain amount of money or you are around a certain demographic of people that people see them as esteemed or influential or what have you, right? Celebrities, whatever. It is your character that keeps you there, right? So you can get there and not stay there, or you can get there and not have everything else that they have, even though you're around them, or you can get there and not be fulfilled, or you can get there, because I've been around a lot of people that, you know, they have quote unquote success and they're not happy, you know, or they don't feel like they are fulfilling a purpose, or they feel like they're in a golden prison, or, you know what I mean? And so it's like, okay. Yeah. My chat is crazy. But yeah, I feel like, so for me, I understand that my character keeps me in the place that I need to be in, you know, as far as I'm concerned. And I think that for me, to go back to your question and ask you, to answer your question for what you were saying, how do you heal those places in you where it's like you see yourself, you know, like you're self-aware enough to know, ooh, that was a little bit of something that jumped out at me that I really don't like that part a lot, you know? It really helps my daily routine helps me check that, because in the morning I have this planner that I was showing you last time online, and it asks you questions about yourself, like what kind of person do you want to be today, you know, are you conscious of that, what are your goals, how are you going to meet your goals, what's something that's been tripping you up lately, and it makes you like aware of those things. So when you're doing them during the day and you know at night, oh, I got to write that journal at night and I really don't want to write down that I cursed this person out or that I sounded like this person or whatever. I think that's one of the things. But I think that it's a lot of little things that make a big thing, you know, for me. So these little things like what you're eating, what you're drinking, if you're going to the gym, you know, how long you are spending time with people. Have you gone outside today? You know, have you slept well? All of these little things add to your quality of life, you know, and doing them consistently really helps you stay in a positive space and keeps you the person that you want to be. You know, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. And I want to ask you more questions about journaling too, because I see Yogi on my side. She's like journaling is one of her favorite activities. So I wanted to ask you like
yes.
how often you journal and like what your journaling process is like. But I also wanted to make a comment about what you said earlier about some people that get success and end up in golden prisons. And I thought that was so interesting. And you're like, yeah, I know a lot of people. Sometimes you get success and you're just not happy there. And it makes me think of I've been listening to this. You ever heard of the speaker Jim Rohn?
Yes.
So I've recently been like tapping in with him heavily, and he made a statement that I heard yesterday. He said, if someone gives you $1 million, it's best you become a millionaire quickly so that you get to keep the money. And I was like, man, that's such a bar. If someone gives you $1 million, you better become a millionaire quickly so that you can keep the money. It's like it'll easily go over somebody's head because it's like you naturally assume that when you get $1 million, you are a millionaire. And his statement drew a line in the middle that if someone gives you $1 million, it's best you become a millionaire so that you get to keep the money. Meaning, like, I give you $1 million today, but if you wasn't a millionaire before this million, you're gonna blow it. You're gonna spend it. Just $1 million in your account doesn't qualify you to be a millionaire. Being a millionaire in your mind and in your heart qualifies you to be a millionaire. Like if you're actively ready for it, he's like, yo, I can give you $1 million, but that'll make you a millionaire. That's crazy. And I never heard that before. It's like if someone gives you $1 million, it's best you become a millionaire so you get to keep the money. Because if not, if you have $1 million in your account with a poor person's mentality, you will soon no longer be a millionaire. You spend $1 of $1 million, you're not even a millionaire no more. So like it's levels. So it made me just think of that when you said like, yo, people who get successful and then they're not really happy there. It's like, yeah, bro, because wherever you go, it's still you that you're still there. You're still the one. So I could give you $1 million. That don't even make you a millionaire. I heard 50 Cent. He dissed somebody like that. He was like, I think he was gonna write a song for somebody. I think it was Mace, and Diddy was trying to get 50 Cent to write a Mace song for him. He's like, yeah, it's gonna be a $1 million budget for Mace and his project. And he was like, what? 50 Cent sitting there like, for him? He's like, bruh. Homie said Mace ain't worth $1 million. Mace is not worth $1 million. He said Mace ain't worth $1 million with $1 million in his pocket. And I was like, yo, that's deep. And my father heard I don't know what we was watching, but he heard it and he never forgot that. He thought that was the funniest thing he ever heard in his life. He said, this dude ain't worth $1 million with $1 million in his pocket. It was like, damn, like you so worthless that you made the $1 million.
Crazy. That's a pretty crazy diss.
That's the most epic shit I ever heard in my life. It's like, you're so low class, you actually found a way to devalue $1 million in cash. Like $1 million in your pocket ain't even $1 million more. That's crazy.
Eddie said poor people mentality is a real thing for real. No, it is. And also too, I was watching this, I don't know if you've seen the documentary American Symphony. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I did. John Batiste?
With John Batiste, and when he was basically saying that was one of the things that the big takeaways that I took away from that him having this like really high in his career and also the low that he's possibly losing the love of his life, right, at the same time, the dichotomy of it all. Mm-hmm. And he said that in this, he was like, I'm grateful that my music has resonated with so many people, but the more popular it is, the more I'm obligated to it, And for him to just maintain this like peaceful little life that they have together, but now when he goes places, it's like he has all of these things scheduled while she has chemo, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like this weird duality that he's living, this strange reality that he's living where he's like, why am I doing so well, but I'm so unhappy, Like I just want to be with the love of my life today while she's, going through the hardest time of her life and I can't. But I can, but I can't. You know what I mean? And it's just kind of like, watching things like that and kind of seeing yourself soberly, is really, really important to me. So facts, Jeb. Thank you, Jeb. Jeb said facts. Yeah, poor people mentality is a real thing for real. That's crazy. Yeah. So you can have a lot of money and be very poor.
That's so crazy to me, yo. You can have a lot of money and be very poor. Yogi on my side said, I agree. I had a friend tell me, stop saying you're always broke because that's what you're putting out into the universe.
Facts. That's true too. And I think also too people's, I think from what I have seen and what I've gathered in my own personal experience, I think that a lot of the time people have a hard time making money because they don't feel like a valuable person. You know, it has nothing to do with actual money, you know? They're scared to ask for it because they don't think they deserve it. And I think that being poor, you know, I mean, you can make $1 million and spend $1 million and be poor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said that line is really an insult. He's like, bro, even if you had $1 million in your pocket, like, that's crazy, yo. That's a crazy diss.
That's the worst diss I ever heard in my life. My father heard it, bro, and he never forgot it. He rolled on the ground. He's like, bro, he said Mace ain't worth $1 million with $1 million in his pocket.
That's a crazy diss, yo.
Damn, bro.
That's crazy, yo.
That's epic. But yeah, I haven't heard nobody say it the way you just said it though. You said you can have a lot of money and still be poor, and it's like, man, that
credit is the most important thing, but we never talk about it. Yo, Hoodie talks about credit on his live a lot.
Yeah, I do.
The power of credit.
Man, credit will change your effing life, bro. You change your credit. I'm looking at a book right now called Credit Secrets, written by Scott and Allison Hilton. Like, I don't even know how I got put onto this book. I think I ended up in like a credit Facebook group or something like that, and somebody had recommended it. And it's just, they show you how to write all the letters that you need to discharge a bunch of the different debts that you might have, from bankruptcies to foreclosures to this to that. It's just epic, you know what I'm saying? So, credit, bro. The power of credit is outstanding. It absolutely is.
Let's go.
Yo, I've actually though what you just said a second ago, ET, was deep because it reminded me of something I heard. I heard another woman say this. I can't remember her name right now. I think her name is like Bryn Drescher. Actually, her name is Bryn, and I ended up in a. She's like a life coach, and I want to say she's like a former like basketball athlete. I ended up in her live one time, and she was talking to a friend of mine, and she said the reason why a lot of people in this world are broke is because you don't love and respect yourself enough to get money. Like you don't hold yourself in a high enough regard to get the money that you say that you want. You want it, but you don't believe that you deserve to have it. You don't love and respect yourself enough to set yourself as that priority and get that money for yourself. And that always stuck with me. I'm like, man, so your financial success is directly tied to your self-esteem. And I thought that was very interesting because I've never heard that. A lot of people tell you all the reasons as to why you're broke. You're inconsistent. You're not working hard enough. You got to put in 80 hours a week, and you got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to stay up late, and then you got to get into affiliate marketing, and it's like all these different things. But I don't know too many people that actually tie it directly to your self-esteem. Yo, the way that you see yourself is going to be like the distinguishing factor, whether you make a lot of money or do not make a lot of money. It's your self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? The way that you see you. And that's honestly amazing. And even what you said a second ago, like you're not making a lot of money because you don't believe that you deserve it. That's a bar. Super bar.
Yeah, I was like a couple of years ago, I was in a really bad loop with that. And that's why I said that, because I realized that myself when I started doing a lot of inner healing work. I was like, man, really, I'm not, because like I was saying before, right? If God said, I'll put you before great men, your gift, I gave you a gift and it makes room for you. Everybody can see your gift. It's nice and they love to invite you in, right? Mm-hmm. And you're in this room in front of everybody. And because you're in this room in front of everybody, but you don't necessarily maybe have what they have, or you don't look how they look, you feel small. But God put you there. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you're there, you deserve to be there. But if you act like you don't deserve to be there, then they're like, oh. So I've blown the bag a couple of times, fumbled the bag a couple of times, just like going into a space and being like, oh, like I'm not gonna say anything, or I have an idea about this, or or I'm gonna pitch this business or whatever. When that's why I'm there, but I feel like, oh nah, I'm like, nobody's gonna listen to me. I'm this little girl. When really, some of those people with a lot of money are super bored. They're trying to figure out what to do with their money, and when you come in inspired, you come in, with a fire in your heart because you want to see people free from mental health and you want to put your music out or what have you. They're waiting for you, right? And you're keeping your mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I realized, like I say it with my chest. I'll be quick to say it with my chest. The worst you could say is no, my friend, but at least I'll know that maybe you're not feeling that, but you never know.
Oh wait, was that a song? Is that a song right now?
No, but she could take it. I want publishing credit though.
Wait.
Yo, give me my percentage.
That whole thing just rhymed right now. The words you could say is no, my friend, and at least I'll know. And then you, yo, that whole thing just rhymed. Hey, okay.
Yeah,
That was.
Garrett, what up?
That was top tier. Okay.
Yeah, so that, I mean, so I just really started being like, if I got an idea, I'm gonna go for it. And people, it's happened to me before that people like, I just take a shot in the dark and be like, you know what? Let me just ask, and then I get a yes from somebody who's, Grammy Award winning that says, yeah, I want to rock on a record, or yeah, I want to do the commercial, or yeah, I want to meet your people, or what have you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dang, that's crazy. I never would have thought this person, but you don't know what people are going through. Some people have a management change. Sometimes they mad at somebody and they want to get back at them, and they're like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, or sometimes it's just your moment. Maybe it's something just special about you that God is like, yo, I want to elevate you,
Mm-hmm.
Show up. Good morning, Jared. Good morning. Yeah, so my chat is saying that they're talking about credit. And Jasmine said, yeah, that, let me read it. It's interesting because other countries don't use credit like Americans do, but agreed. And Eddie said, yeah, I'm in the UK and we never talk about credit at all. And Jasmine said she lived in Italy and my UK friends are always trying to figure it out when dealing with America. And he said, yeah, we really are different here. I didn't know that it was different. Like credit is different like in the UK and stuff. Because they still buy housing and stuff, right? With credit or no?
I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm interested to know. You guys let me know in the chat. Let me know.
Yeah, I don't know. I only know about the American credit system, but I never thought about what credit looks like abroad. To be honest, I think that in a lot of countries for a long time they didn't have credit. Like for a long time, I think it's like a relatively new concept for a lot of people. Because you got to remember some of these countries are coming off of like communism and dictatorships, and so some of these people have no conception of it. They only think about what they can see in their hand, and that's wealth to them.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that. I have no idea because I'm interested in buying property someday, like overseas, but I didn't know that credit is like really not a big thing over there. Yeah, but thank you for letting us know. But yeah, that was just my little. I definitely saw that in my own life.
Mm-hmm.
That a lot of the time, the only thing that's limiting me is my belief that I do it, or my belief that I should go for it. Like sometimes I don't even try to get like, that deal that's $100K or $200K or $1 million or whatever, because I just don't think I can. Sometimes if you ask, you get it. That's it. What's up?
That's so crazy, man. I know what that feels like too. Like sometimes you feel like you may not be qualified to get it, And I think that's personally me. I think that's why I load up on so much information so that when I do end up in situations like that, I'm at least so well versed in what it is that I'm talking about that it makes it easier for that transaction to happen. However, it's still intimidating if you've never done it before. It's still like, how do I build this up? Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, but I noticed too that was like me rooted in my childhood trauma because one thing that people that are successful have is audacity.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have seen a guy that was really not even that smart, like literally walk up to somebody and be like, a celebrity and be like, yo, let me get your number. And I was like, what? Like, I mean, that would be like walking up to like J-Lo or something and being like, yo, let me get your number. I'll hit you up. And it's like people just do it because they're like, well, I mean, if he's got the boss ass, obviously he's somebody, So he's got all these contacts, but it's not because he's so smart. It's not because he's so educated. It's not because of any of that stuff. It's simply because he had the audacity to ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he just lacks embarrassment. Like he doesn't care if he's embarrassed, so he just does it. Like he's like fearless. But it's more so because his IQ is low, not because like, you know what I mean? Like he's just like whatever.
Hey,
and he's like, yeah, I'm not the smartest person, but I get it done. Like
ignorance is bliss, man.
It is, honestly, and I think it's something to be said about that and learn from that. So that's why I was like, I'm just gonna start asking. I'm just gonna start doing it. I'm just gonna start making those calls because, like, I know me, and I feel like obviously, we all have our special qualities, but I know that who I am, when nobody's watching. I know that I'm a special person, so why not me? Is what I started asking myself. Why not me?
Why not?
Yeah.
Damn, bro. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
If you ask, there's a 50% chance that you will get it. Jared, that's what I'm talking about. I love that. I love that too. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes you just don't get it because you don't ask. Like, I was in this meeting with the Chamber of Commerce in my city one time, and she was begging people to sign up for this grant. And she was like, guys, most of these grants, they go back to the government because nobody applies for them. Everybody's intimidated and they think, oh, it's $750,000. I'm never going to get it, so they don't apply. And then nobody applies because they all think the same thing, and the government just keeps the money. So if one person had applied, they would have won, you know. But because they all thought they weren't going to get it, nobody applied for it, and nobody got it.
Self-esteem, bro. Self-esteem is too low. That's crazy, man. That's crazy when you actually like look at all the things that people are leaving on the table just because of their own fears or their own lack of belief. You know, like when you actually look at all the things that are just going untouched and untapped and uncultivated. And it's funny because I think sometimes the smartest people in the world probably have the most fear. Like you said, the other person, they were blind to the possibility of failure. They were like an idiot and their IQ was low. So they're able to walk into the situation and be like, yeah, give me your number, girl. Beyonce, let me get your number.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you up later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And they gave it to him. It's crazy. Like,
yeah. Because it's like, yo, this don't happen every day. This must be something great. Yeah, for sure. Take my number. Hit me up. Hit me on the gram or whatever the case may be. And it's like, you never know. But life is not half as hard as we make it seem sometimes. And I think it's the people with the higher IQs. Like, think about how many college graduates you know that are just working like these like mediocre jobs just because they feel like they need some other caliber of qualification in order to get to this other thing. And they you know, they're making good money being a waiter or a waitress or a bottle person at night. So they're just, you have this degree, but you're not even using it. I know way more people who have degrees that don't use it than people who have degrees that actually use the damn degree. You know what I'm saying? Like my friend who made this hat, he has a degree in architecture. He's not using it. He's making hats. You know what I'm saying? But look at that. Like he's also certified to be an architect, but he's not using it. And it's like, I think a lot of the people with the higher IQs, because you have like these smarts, you also have this higher perception of danger. So that part of your brain that's going to scream to you, no, don't do that thing, is much louder than a person who's like dumb enough to walk off of a bridge or walk off of a lake. That person is just going to do whatever they do because they don't see any like disqualifying factors in their face. They don't have that voice in their hair screaming to them. That voice is very low along with the other voices that are very low, and they're just walking around in this like happy as a clam, doing whatever they're doing, just moving through life. And that ignorance is bliss is real. But the smarter the person, a lot of times, the bigger the fear because you're calculating more than the other person. That's why some of these really smart people, like they end up messed up because like you're so smart, you're overthinking. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be an overthinker if you don't think.
You're anticipating like the no's and the problems, and you're thinking about all the loopholes and all that stuff when really you just need to go for it. And Jared said, crazy you bring that up. I just questioned that this morning. TFMC was just granted $6 billion in government funding. I felt like I wouldn't qualify because I'm a startup. You'd be surprised, Jared, because a lot of these people, a lot of these grants are written for startups. And you know how I learned that? It's because of Hoodie's Live, because of Natalie. Shout out to you, Nat, wherever you are.
Shout out, Nat.
Talking about Andrew Cartwright in there one day, and so I went and looked at a bunch of his videos, and he was talking about how like startup funding is the wave right now. Like if you have a startup or you have a new business, like they're trying to keep you going. Like they want you to have money, and you'd be surprised. Just apply. There's no harm in applying. You know what I'm saying? You never know.
You never know.
They may pick you.
Yeah. I want to get some of them grants too. I don't even know what kind of grants I can apply for, but this conversation got me like, yo, what a grants at? Let's talk about it. My belief is fired up. Jared said I got a 50% chance. Let's get it popping.
Yeah, you
grants.
should. I mean, the thing is that Nat, like for example, Nat is in the creative space. You know, Nat is she's in dance, and a lot of this with them thinking about taking music out of schools. There's a lot of grants, especially for people of color, for the creative space. You know, they pulled a big funding together for it, like for movies, for film, for music. So, you know, just do your research and get tapped in and you can get grants. And Natalie did it though. She said she got 8.
Hell yeah.
So
she did say she
I would
got
tap
a bunch.
in. She said DM her if you need help. I'll be on it because you can fund your project. You know what I mean? Get some marketing dollars behind yourself and take off.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. And see, like this is the beautiful part about like even the world that we live in right now. People can share information so freely now that which one person knows, everybody can know. Now it's not a matter of like the way it was 50 years ago, 60 years ago, where people just genuinely didn't have the information. Now it's just a matter of what you're going to do with the information. We just heard about these grants, and we heard about, you said Andrew Cartwright, right?
Yeah, Andrew Cartwright. Mm-hmm.
Like, we hear about these people. Now it's our job to go in, look them up. Because I remember when she said it, I pulled them up on YouTube, but then when the live was over, I just kind of turned it off on YouTube. And I didn't think about him again until you just mentioned it. So I'm like, yeah, okay, let me go watch some of his videos right now. Because I've been busy listening to Jim Rohn. So I'm like, let me tap in with this Cartwright guy and see what he's talking about. Because that is valuable and useful information.
It was great, and I sent them. I sent the links to my friends. I just spread the word because I was like, yo, like, it's just crazy that you, especially now as a person of color, there's just money out there, you know? Mm-hmm. There's just money out there, and people don't think that, you know, there is, but there's plenty of money for you to fund your dreams, for you to get done what you want to get done. And at this point, like you said, there's no excuse. There's no excuse. There really isn't an excuse. I think you said something about a quote, and it said the guy that thinks he can and the guy that thinks he can't, they're both right. Mm-hmm. And that's a fact. So Jared, if you think you can do it, you can definitely do it.
Man, it's real. It's very real. I love conversations like this. E.T., hey, shout out to us.
Yeah. Shout out to us.
Shout out to us. Shout out to us, man.
That pose every time you get that gift is crazy funny.
I love it, bro. Because the gift made me look like a cowboy. So I'm like, bet, I got to get it popping. It's like, hey, you know, let me see.
Yeah, Jared, 100% do it.
My friend Sweet Pea over here says, someone told me to get rid of overthinking. Heal your gut and build esteemable habits so you begin to trust your first thoughts.
They say that the gut is the second brain.
And they said that they look the same too. Like if you look at them, like your intestines look just like your brain. Like they look the same. My slogan is faith over fear. Same letter, different meaning. Oof. Ooh. Yeah, man. Nah, man. Like, I like that. It makes me think of the Og Mandino quote we were talking about yesterday, man. Og Mandino said in his book, The Greatest Salesman in the World, form good habits and become their slave. And most people, I feel like, wouldn't want to hear that, right? Like, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear nothing and nobody tell me to be a slave. You just trying to get me to get back in the rat race and get back on the hamster wheel, and I ain't going for that. You trying to have me work for 30 years, get a gold watch, and get kicked out of this building. I don't think so. And it's like, no, you don't understand. I'm not talking about that kind of slavery, and I'm not talking about mental slavery. He said form good habits and become their slave. Instead of being a slave to your job or to your family or to your friends or to your children or to your church, form good habits and become their slave. And we all can write down some good habits. Sleeping on time, eating right food, exercising every day, you know, meeting our financial goals, paying our bills, raising our kids, whatever you deem to be a good habit. Form it and become their slave. And a lot of people don't want to accept that because everybody want to be like, I'm the CEO, I'm the CFO, I'm the owner, I'm the king, the queen, the master, the boss, the biggest in the bed. Like everybody wants these high, grandiose titles. And it's like, bruh, like, you can call yourself the king of the gym or the slave of the gym. We don't give a shit. You're going to be there at 6 o'clock, right? Yeah, we don't care. Go. You can call yourself a janitor, or you can call yourself, I'm the executive director of what is it like? I'm the executive director of bleach and tool supplies at this place. You're like, okay, cool. It don't matter. You're still going to get over there at that same time and do that thing without fail, right? It don't matter. The Rock could call himself the king of the gym. I'm in the gym and I'm the king. Or you can call yourself the slave. It doesn't matter because you're still going to be there on time. Same place, same day, same time, doing the same thing, right? So like, we should form good habits and become their slave. What would happen if you were a slave to your good habits? A slave doesn't have a choice. A slave doesn't go on vacation when their master says, get up and go and do that thing. A lot of us, our egos are so big, we don't want to be considered a slave to anything, even though you actually are a slave to a bunch of stuff right now. You're a slave to Netflix because you can't turn it off. You're a slave to Chick-fil-A because you can't turn it off. You're a slave to sex and over preoccupation with sex and partying and drinking and smoking weed because you can't turn it off. You're a slave to gossip because you're scrolling endlessly on Instagram all day, watching Love and Hip Hop, Bad Girls Club, or Kim Kardashian do whatever she's doing, making millions while you're spending millions. You can't turn it off. Like, you are a slave to so many things right now. You just don't want to admit that that's what you are. Oh no, I'm not a slave. You know, it's my life, and these are the things that I like, and I don't care what you call it, bro. You're a slave to countless things that are not pretty and not good looking. So you're hesitant to say I'm going to form a good habit and become a slave while I'm quietly choosing to be slaves to all these other idiotic things. You know, Jim Rohn also said recently, he was like, yo, how much does your TV cost? And the guy was like, my TV in my house? He said, yes, your TV in your house. He said, it probably cost me $400. He said, okay, $400. He said, yeah, okay, $400. But I'm not asking you how much it costs to buy it. You know, what do you mean? He said, how much does it cost to use it? To work it? It's free. He said, no, it's not free. By my estimation, your television is costing you at least $12,000 a year. And this is in 1981 when he said it. He said, your television is costing you at least $12,000 a year. He said, what? No. He said, yes, annually. To buy it, to own it, costs you $400. But every time you use it throughout the course of the year, it costs you at least $12,000 just to watch TV. And I think $12,000 is too much to pay to watch television annually. And it's like, he was just getting the guy to understand, like, yo, that thing, that box, that distraction box is costing you more than you think. It didn't cost you the $100, $200, $300. It's costing you millions or hundreds of millions. Anything that you could be making in the time that you're spending watching this drama unfold on the television that doesn't benefit you at all, you could have been spent that same time working on something that actually benefits you. You know, overcoming the dramas in your real life and letting it build you and make you become something better, you know?
For sure.
Sorry, I know I went off on a tangent.
No, it's okay. What is your chat saying?
Let me see. They are saying, they're talking to P. Yeah, I have a mantra for myself. Help my self-esteem so much. Sanitization? I'm sorry, I'm a little lost. I'm definitely lost. What is your chat saying, E.T.? I remember seeing that clip.
Your network is your network. I'm trying to get y'all good-minded people to network with. Oh, thank you, Jared.
Okay.
Jared, we appreciate it.
Love it.
Yeah, I love to have like-minded people in the chat. There's some good people that I have come across and whatnot. And I actually built out a Discord that I'm going to link to the trigger warning page that I have to really help with some resources and stuff like that. So like, just like you was saying, Hoodie, like that you want to like know more about grants and stuff, there'll be like a section in that Discord for grants, for example. So when people subscribe, there's like some locked stuff. I'm listening and getting ready because y'all are so interesting. Oh, thanks, Sarah. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you. Not getting ready in Canada, listening to us. Yeah, but yeah, I just want it to be a space where you can go, where you know, like, oh, okay, like if there's any new grants out or there's something going on that I know I can go here to this space and see what's going on, look on the board and see what's popping, if there's anything I can apply for. But books as well. There's a book that I'm listening to right now called What My Bones Know. My chat is probably so tired of me talking about this book because it is so good, but it's a memoir. And so if you're curious about CPTSD and like overcoming childhood trauma and that type of thing, you still feel like there are certain parts in you that aren't healed from childhood and stuff, it's a really good book. And she talks about everything that she tried to get through to her healing and like her process, you know, what it was like. And she mentioned some of the things that you mentioned in your live, you know. Like she talks about shrooms, she talks about like EDMR, and she talks about like a bunch of different like aspects and what those experiences were like for her. And it's really good though. It's a really good read. Eddie, welcome back. Welcome back.
I gotta tell
you. But yeah, it's what trigger warning.
Wait, what was it like?
My bones.
What My Bones Know. Okay.
What My Bones Know by Stephanie Fu. And it's on Spotify too, so if you have Spotify or something, you can play it on there for free.
What My Bones Know. Yeah, they're asking about it.
Yeah, it's a really, really good book. So if you really, over the years have struggled with your healing consistently, or you have trouble being consistent, a lot of the time it's because, or you struggle with perfectionism, like everything has to be perfect, or you just won't do it. You know, or you have like a resistance to certain things, it's really helpful, and you'll feel really seen, like reading her story and, and that sort of thing. But it's really, really great, and I highly recommend it to people who are on their healing journey.
Have you done mushrooms, E.T.?
I have not, or like ayahuasca, because I know a lot of people do ayahuasca as well.
Yeah. I
You
recommend.
haven't? What was your experience like? Eddie, my chat said I have.
Oh, Eddie. Eddie.
Yeah,
what
I'm
was your
really
experience
curious, but
like?
I just feel like I have to be, because I've heard that if you do it, you have to be in a place where you feel safe, and like your environment matters, and your state matters. Eddie said it was life changing for real.
That's just life
That's
changing.
what Eddie said.
Wow, the shrooms. I could say the shrooms are life changing. I never did ayahuasca. I'm looking forward to doing ayahuasca and DMT. Apparently, it's like a friend of mine who does psychedelics on a regular says you start with the shrooms, then you do ayahuasca, then you do DMT, and that process is gonna completely change you as a person. I'm like, I bet, but I highly recommend the
Gia's
shrooms.
in the building. Hey, Gia.
I highly recommend it.
We're talking about my childhood trauma was like old film around me. And for 5 years, I had to heal from a lot of it. Wow. So it would just replay in your mind like a film. Is that what
TikTok,
you're saying?
TikTok Jay on my side says I feel like childhood trauma is kind of rare, like actual abuse. Some people throw that around too loosely. That's an interesting.
Ooh.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I do understand what you're saying because, but I had a very interesting live the other day because I'm reading this book right now. It's called 12 Steps to Changing Yourself in the World, an Abolitionist Handbook, right? And in it, one of the chapters is about being intentional about not harming others. And so they talk about spanking in here because it's one of those like topics that's kind of contentious, right? Where everybody has their opinion on it. And so she was talking about how like the research behind spanking, and was talking about how, that kind of stare that you get in the store when you've got your tail whooped before and you're acting up, and your mama gives you that stare like from across the room. And so I read the passage to them and I asked them, as parents or as future parents, how do you guys feel about spanking? Do you feel like it's appropriate to physically correct your child, or do you think that there are other ways? And the whole panel like lit up. Everybody was giving their opinion, and if you do agree with spanking, how far is too far? Because sometimes, being corrected, people do say like, "Oh, I was abused," but I know people that have been abused that have never been hit a day in their life, but they're so mentally or financially abused that they can't. It's hard for them to function, right? And I know people like in Stephanie Foo's case, when you read her story, not to give it away, I know you guys are probably going to read it, but she talks about how things started with her mom and then gradually went to a point where it was like, kind of crazy, so these are like it's real active like abuse, in these cases on mushies. Oh, okay. So yeah, you got to be in a good place with with people that you trust. Oh no, we're age restricted. We got age restricted, y'all.
It's deep.
I did an intentional ego death trying to heal on mushies. Okay.
You said something a second ago that really made me laugh on the inside, but it's only because I never heard of it. You were talking about abuse, and you said some people were like verbally abused or financially abused.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh. Like, how do you financially abuse somebody? Like, I'm trying to understand. You mean like a kid being broke? Like, yo, I'm not giving my kid no money. It's like, oh, this is financial abuse. You better believe it. You better believe it.
Yeah,
You're broke.
Thing. I mean, it's a real thing. It's a thing between spouses as well. Like one spouse is the breadwinner. I have seen cases like that before. Like, for example, I knew this NFL player that whenever he would get mad at his wife, he would like not pay the bills. And he was on the road, so it didn't matter for him, but there would be no lights there. They had no groceries and stuff like that because he's like, quote unquote, teaching her a lesson, that she needs to be reminded of like who's running things and who's paying for things there. Mind you, they have a kid, so it's like she's not eating, the baby's not eating, nobody's eating, there's no lights, like there's no hot water, like, and he's just gone for 2 weeks until he feels like you've learned your lesson enough, and
Damn.
I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that seemed like a great way to learn a lesson. Did she learn it? Like, did she learn the lesson? Did she learn what she needed to learn?
Well, she left him.
I mean, I feel like that's the best lesson to learn, bro. Like, yo, there was I was hearing Jim Rohn the other day saying he was talking to a CEO, a woman. She was a super powerful woman, like high class, super high class. She was CEO of some company. And he asked her, he's like, look, I know your story. How did you make it up to be a CEO like this, you know? And she said, one day I was home and I asked my husband for $10 so that I can get something. And he looked at me and said, what for? And she said she felt so low on the inside that she made a promise to herself right then and there that she would never have to ask somebody else again, ever, her husband, nobody, for $10. Because she said, let me get 10, and it was just $10. But he looked at her and said, what do you need it for? She needed permission, and she needed to create a reason to get $10 from her husband. And she said she felt so low about that. She's like, I'm never going to ask again. So I went, took the classes, took the courses, got into a job, did overtime, did as much as I needed to, and now I'm the CEO of this company. And I've kept that promise to myself. I never had to ask anybody again. She most likely isn't with that man anymore. You know what I'm saying? Realistically speaking, if it, you know what I'm saying? Anybody who's tripping over $10 can't be with no CEO lady. Let's be for real. But that's I mean, you know, it's just keeping it real. But that's real. Like, I've never heard. I didn't. When you said financial abuse, it made me think of like a parent abusing their child. Because every time I think of abuse, I'm always thinking of somebody bigger doing it to somebody smaller, and I'm always thinking of like a parent-child situation. I feel like that's where a lot of our abuses come from. So he's like financial abuse. I was like reminding my shorty that my shorty is broke. Hey, you're broke. Kid, like, what am I supposed to do about it? What am I gonna do about it? I don't know what you're gonna do, but I know that you broke. You're broke. You ain't got no money.
But you know what? I want to give you your flowers, like, in front of everybody, because what I will say is that specifically with this space on TikTok, it's very easy to get sucked into it. It's very addicting, you know, like, and sometimes you have FOMO and you want to be on it all the time. But for you to like really say, I'm gonna do this thing every day at this time, and I might not do it perfectly, but I'm gonna show up, you know, and now I'm gonna put a timer limit on it where I'm gonna be here, and then I don't see you, you know, after that. Yo, big ups to you. I commend you, because you really have a lot of self-discipline, you know, with your life, and it shows, and it's reflected in how you choose to manage your social media spaces. And make it a triple conversation, because I want to put a few topics up. Okay, let me know, because I don't know if I can. You know, I don't know if I can bring somebody up when I'm hosting with him as well, because it kicks him out. But let me know. Drop it in the chat, Gia, and I'll we can talk about it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This about trauma, about childhood trauma.
Oof.
He's gonna read some stuff from his chat too.
Let me see. Should I read it right now?
Yeah.
P says, I've gotten beat. First off, thank you, ET. I appreciate that. And I didn't even know if I was doing it the right way. I was telling myself like earlier today, like, maybe I need to go live more. Maybe I should just like set a live goal and stay on live until I reach the live goal. Maybe that's the way. You know what I'm saying? Because am I even doing this properly? And I'm like, I don't know. But I'm gonna keep doing it until I figure it out. We was talking yesterday about the art of the pivot, and that's like a different conversation. But it's like sometimes when things aren't working, let's say I'm going north, this north isn't working anymore. Let me just start going east, and that's what a lot of people do. Like let me just go east, and it's like, man, like you're gonna change course completely. Like the true people who have dedicated themselves to that thing are gonna realize, like, yo, if I'm going north and north isn't working, I've already dedicated myself. Between north and east is northeast. So let me pivot a little bit. Sometimes you're doing a lot of the right stuff. You just need to make a small change. And it's funny because my manager pulled up on me yesterday. He was like, yo, bro, you're doing a lot of the right stuff. I think we just need to make a little pivot this way to make all these things 10 times more effective, because you're doing all the right stuff. And a lot of times, if you don't have somebody in your corner to tell you that, or you don't know that yourself, you might change course right before you reach your acres of diamonds. And it's so crazy because you see it happen every day. Have you ever seen that little image of like the miner? He's mining, and then he's like, he's about to turn away, and then the gold was like right there, like an inch away. It's like, yo, that's a lot of people. Like, you're gonna change course completely when this thing apparently or at the moment doesn't seem like it's working. No, bro, make that pivot, make that small change. The people who you know who have attained and sustained incredible success, they made it by saying, yo, I'm dedicated to this course. that means I'm making a decision. Myron Golden says, yo, stop making choices and start making decisions. A choice is you making one in an ocean of others. And you know I'm making one. It's like multiple choice tests. I'm choosing D, but I still got A, B, C, and all the others. When you make a decision, decide is like when you make an incision, it's to cut into something. When you make a decision, it's to cut away from. Decision. So like a decision means I'm gonna look at this one thing and I'm gonna cut away everything that isn't this thing that I've chosen for myself. So a choice is I'm choosing you, but I still know I got options. That's the person with a plan A, B, and C. Someone who makes a decision saying I'm cutting away everything that isn't what I've chosen. So that means there is no other option for me. I'm burning my boats. There's no other way. And so, north, east, and that little art of the pivot. But man, I was just thinking about it earlier when you were talking about like, yo, commending me for being like disciplined on and stuff like that. I was thinking like, okay, I got to find a way to like change it up. But look at that. ET just came up in here and was like, yo, you the man. You disciplined. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you. ET. Thank you, ET.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can still tweak a couple of things. Like sometimes I notice that with my live goal, if I have a 500 coin gift, for example, maybe it's too high for people. If I drop it to one that's $2.99 or 100, I get more because it's achievable. You know, people feel like they can achieve it, or they can add incentive. Like what I was telling you before. Like I'm building out my subscription based thing too, and I want to do like giveaways, or like I was telling you, you can do like for the first 50 subscribers, maybe they get a free shirt. You send them merch or something. You know, you have a lot of stuff that you already have that you can leverage, you know, for your following, and just, you know, ask them what they want. What do you guys want?
What do you want? It made me feel like
I will tell you what. Okay, I'll tell you one thing that everybody in your chat always comes to my chat and says that they want is they really want you to put together an Amazon storefront and put the books that you read in there so that they can shop the Amazon storefront or have a book list. So if you have in your subscriber area, you know, you can make specific content for them. Maybe you can make a video talking about all the books you read or montages of the books that you read, because they're very interested in what you're reading.
Wow.
And yeah, so if you have an Amazon storefront, you can link all the books on there so that if people watch the live and maybe they're like overwhelmed or they couldn't write all the books down or they missed the live, they can go on that storefront and it'll just be all the books that you said, like over time, you know, all the books that you love, your favorite books, and you get a commission for it.
Damn. So I'm gonna do that today.
Shout out to him.
It's nice.
So I know that's
nice.
one thing that every time people come into my thing, they're like, "Oh, did you go to Hoodie Store? Oh yeah, you said it. Oh, sorry. That sounds like a great suggestion. Oh, okay, you think so? Yeah. I think people always come in. Yo, what up, D? D's in the building.
What up?
Yeah. People always come to my live and they're like, man, what was that thing that Hoodie said? Or Hoodie like this book or whatever. And me too. They be saying that about me too. Like I need to make an Amazon storefront and I need to link that journal. Maybe what I'll do is when he makes his, I'll send you the link to the journal and you can link it in yours.
I'll do both.
Plan.
Wait, so you have to make a storefront too? If we both got to make it, why don't we just make a decision today? A decision to make it today.
Yeah, I actually already have one.
Oh well, Jesus Christ! it's just me.
I had an issue with Amazon, like TikTok locked me out of it, so I had to like send a message. It's the whole thing. So I'm working with TikTok on that, but also we can link some stuff to TikTok Shop too. But you have to have 5K. So you're on the road to 5K. Yo, we gotta get Hoodie up to 5K, y'all. So. Share the live. Tap the screen. Share the live.
Tap the screen. Share the live.
Y'all know how to get down.
She left me totally hanging just now. She could have lied. She could have lied. Like, yo, let's make it today. She could have been like, yeah, and then DM me like, yo, I actually already got it. Like, let's get you popping. Like. She didn't do that. She didn't let me live it all. She was like, let's do it today. She was like, I actually already got that done. That's
I'm here for you.
You're the one who's slow. I've already done the work. Oh.
We're rooting for you. We are all rooting for you.
We were all rooting for you. We're rooting. It's all rooting for you. I see Tyra Banks in my head right away.
What P said. What did P say? I want to know what P said about getting whooped.
Yo, P said a lot of stuff, but when you start talking about the storefront, she texted me in all vocab. Literally sent you how to do it, sir. We've been waiting. So yeah. Nah, she did send me. I think she sent me all the instructions. This is how you do the storefront. I'm like, man, I need an assistant, bro. Like, I absolutely need to get me an assistant. All right, hold on. P said, let me get $10. wait. You acting up, P. Hold up. I can't remember. Wait, what top?
You get $10 is crazy.
That's facts.
Yo, P.
It's facts. P. These are facts. This is P's life. P is funny in real life. P is funny. We are rooting for you. All right, hold up. I'm trying to remember what were we talking about when I was gonna start reading. Because P said a lot of stuff in here. What
we were talking about childhood trauma, and we were talking about spanking. You know, what everybody's perspective was on spanking.
So P said, I've gotten beat downs, but the worst abuse was creating a habit on doubting my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough, bro.
That really sucks, P. Because that is the hardest trauma to heal from, you know?
Yeah.
In my opinion, from what I've seen, is like when people really make you, like, gaslight you so bad that you don't understand what is reality anymore because you swear it happened like this and they're like, no, that didn't happen like that, or I never said that, or blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, now you're like questioning your own reality. Like, wait, did I really remember that wrong? Is it me? Like, and you internalize that. It's so hard to heal from that because when you're in other situations, you internalize those things and you think this person is acting like X, Y, and Z. And really, for them, they just have a test that they're stressed out about later. But in your mind, you're like, is it me? Am I the drama? Like, what's going on? And it can really cause a lot of problems, you know. Thank you, Majus. I appreciate it. It can really cause a lot of problems, you know. Sarah, how did you deal with that? And P, I'm sorry that you had to go through that. You know, it's really challenging.
That is the worst. After that, Hannah said, yeah, I agree with her. Wait, I can't remember. But when Hannah said she agreed with the story of the woman who, like, needed $10 from her husband. And he played her. And she was like, oh, never again. CEO lady, here I come, because that's enough. And it's funny because, like,
$10 is crazy.
$10 is crazy, but Jim Rohn's story is also crazy. Jim Rohn, his life-changing moment was $2 because of a Girl Scout. And, like, he was 25 years old. He was at his house. He already had a job. He had a wife. He had kids. A Girl Scout came and apparently gave him the greatest sales presentation he ever heard. He said, this is the greatest sales presentation I ever heard. He talked about special deal. Get it now. Cookies. Girl Scout cookies. And she finally asked him to buy. And he wanted to. And the cookies were $2. And he didn't have $2 to give her. He said, I didn't have $2 to give her, so I did what I thought the next best thing was. I lied. I told her, I said, hey, I already bought a whole bunch of Girl Scout cookies. We still got some stacked up in the house. She's like, oh, thank you, and walked away. He closed the door. He said that was the worst feeling he ever felt in his life because he lied to a little girl to get himself off the hook because he didn't have $2 to give a Girl Scout cookie for some Girl Scouts cookies, you know, to give a Girl Scout for some Girl Scout cookies. And he said that was the moment that changed his life. So the lady got the $10 one. Like, oh, my husband played me for $10. Bet I don't need to hear say less forever. Wow! Yup. And then homie with $2. It's like, it's crazy, but it's facts. Like, and you never know when them life changing moments are gonna come. You know, dang. Yogi says, dang. Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy. That Girl stuff. You know who also has a really crazy story is the guy that wrote Atomic Habit. Have you read Atomic Habit?
I'm literally looking at. I found Atomic Habits at this thrift store across the street from my house. I'm literally it's like right in front of me right now. James Clear. I haven't read it yet though.
A phenomenal book.
Is it?
Yeah. Especially the first couple chapters. I always like to read about other people's lives and their stories. Mm-hmm. You know, so on my page, I always, when people, like somebody came on my page the other day and they were basically saying that they're having a hard time reading because, you know, how it is when you're reading a book, you really have to face yourself, you know? Mm-hmm. And face your own demons when you're reading this book. And sometimes it's very challenging for people to kind of, they have a resistance to reading. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like if you don't read, you don't know what that means. But a lot of the time, it's when you read something, it is a direct reflection of you. You're reading it from where you are today, right? If I read a book a year from now, it's a different person reading that book because I'm a different person, you know?
Right.
So it's very much like staring in the mirror. you know, when you're reading, and sometimes you don't like what you see, or you don't want to see what's going on with you, so you avoid reading. And she was going through that, and I told her the book that she's reading, if it's hard for her to read, it's because it's really something that she needs to work out on herself, to read Atomic Habits with it, because Atomic Habits is about making those small changes. Like what you were saying about the pivot, basically, that principle that you were saying, if you just tweak it a little bit, you'll end up where you need to be.
So good.
That's pretty much the entire premise of, you know, Atomic Habit. But he tells you in story form how he got to be able to work that principle. And I think you'll love it. So I'm excited for you to read the first couple chapters. But I always recommend that they read Atomic Habit with the book that they're reading that's giving them resistance, because Atomic Habit talks about like just taking that daily step, that granule, like literally the habit the size of an atom can change your life, you know?
Oh, wow. The habit the size of an atom can change your life. That's deep.
Yeah, so that's why it's called Atomic Habit.
Yo, that's crazy. That's dope, because normally you hear that faith the size of a mustard seed, right? And then you look and a mustard seed is like really small, and so, but talking about a habit the size of an atom, it's like, oh my God, like how small is that?
Yeah, and all these little habits that you create, and it tells you how to like people who have a hard time like actually, like for example, if somebody has a hard time going to the gym, you know, and it talks about